Hi and welcome to Marilou Knitting. This is a podcast about knitting and crafts, but mostly knitting. And I am Marie-Louise. I live in Sweden, southeast of Sweden, 1 hour south from Stockholm. And I've been knitting a lot during the past, I would say, 5 years, and I would like to share my knitting with you who doesn't speak Swedish. So that's why I'm now testing and see if I could reach out to a bigger audience, since I'm addicted, I would say, to knitting and knitting podcasts and using almost all my spare time, knitting and looking at podcasts. Yes, I'm sitting in my knitting corner. I live in a small cottage in the country. It's April the 2nd, and normally it would be spring here, and I could be sitting outside, but right now it's very much not so. It's still snow outside, and both the light and the cold makes it that I will be here inside instead. Here is the place where the goddess Hera sits. She's usually sits here when I knit and looking at podcasts, but she has decided to go out today, so maybe it's more fun there, but maybe she will show up later in another podcast. On me I have the Fleuril sweater, and this is lovely sweater that I knitted 2 years ago. I've been using it a lot outside in my garden. It's a perfect sweater for spring and autumn time, and also cold summer times here in Sweden. The designer's name is Essie Winnerholt, and she's made this sweater and also a cardigan variation that I've knitted up in pink. This pink version I made in Sandnes Kos. That is a fluffy blow yarn, and it was my most worn cardigan last year. This sweater is knit up in Swedish 3-ply yarn from Järbo, and you will see that I'm using that wool a lot because I like it. It has colors that I like, and it's very good to combine those colors, and it's a quality that I also like. This I've been using very much. I've been washed it in the washing machine on wool program several times, and it is, although it's 100% wool, it is soft and holds the form and the color very well. Yes. What am I knitting on? Or first of all, I've been finishing something. Another wool that is very common is the Icelandic wool Letlupi, and this is a hat a hat called Näsviken hat. It's by Emily Brandén. You can find the pattern in Nordic Knitting Society. I've done one for myself. I will go and get it, I think, because it's funny to compare. Wait a minute. Yeah, I've done 2 of these hats. One is in the longer version, and this is in the shorter version. Both in Let Loopy, and this yellow one is from Campus 3-ply yarn. Yeah, you saw me in this. This one doesn't cover my ears, but do its job on the top of the head. Emily has done also a cowl and mittens for this in this pattern, and also there is socks in this pattern. Well, woolly cloth is necessary in Sweden, and I love and have no problem at all to wear these sorts of clothes. I'm not itchy. It's not itchy for me at all. That's why I'm mostly using woolly wool, 100% wool. Another garment that I'm knitting on right now is a dress. Actually, it's a sweater, but a jumper. But I'm making it a dress. The name of this pattern is Austasjön, the Baltic Sea, and it is made in Campus 2-ply in these lovely colors. So I'm finished the yoke and the 2 arms, and I'm now on the body, and I'm knitting on 3.25 millimeter sticks, and it will be as long as I want it. Maybe I will put this bring back this pattern when I've come down to the knee. I've started a hashtag in Swedish that is Sticka klänning 2023. But if you would like to join us, you could use the hashtag knit a dress to 2023. Because knitting a dress and wear a knitted dress is very comfortable, I think, and well, you can use whatever pattern you want and just make it longer. Erika Åberg, that is the designer of this pattern, she writes in her book that you just knit it to the length that you prefer. So hopefully this will be a dress. So join me and knit a dress as well. Whips are allowed, of course, because there's a big risk that this will stay a whip for a long time. The boring part is knitting in a round, just plain stitch, and that's why I'm trying to encourage us to finish the dress into 23. I'm also knitting another dress made. The pattern is made by Vera Välimäki. She is a Finnish designer, and she made a book named Stripes from Line magazine, and she's running a knit along now. This doesn't look like much like her dress right now, but this is the back of the dress. It's called Maire dress. The Finnish knitting story is also knitting this, but in a totally different way than I am. I'm doing this in a Rauma Faivel. It's a new yarn from Rauma that is a light worsted yarn that is, very light, I would say. It's not plied that hard, so I'm hoping that this will be a dress that is light and airy to wear, and of course, as the name says of the book, it shall be stripes, quite wide stripes actually. I have a lot of whips, and I'm not showing every whip right now for you, but I would like to show you a whip that I've just started. It's because I'm been following Amanda Jane Davis and her podcast Mouses Makes Knitting, and she's been she started a knit along because she wants to knit up a lot of shawls and a blanket by Stephen West. I've been very tired and sick for a while, just trying to work half time, and the other time I've been sitting and knitting and watching Mandy from the start of her series, and since she's publishing every week, I have got a lot of entertainment, and it's odd. It almost feels like I know her right now, but I don't. But whatever, I like her style and I like what she's doing, and I am doing the Starflanket. That is one of the designs of Stephen West that she's knitting this year. This is the Starflanket in my version. It's gonna be a big blanket, but I'm gone down in size both in needles and in yarn. So this is 2-ply Ullcentrum, and this is a precious yarn that I bought in 2019, I think. And I've been starting projecting this yarn and frogged it, as you can see. Because this is a very precious yarn. It's variegated. Yeah, and I've been thinking that I wanted to do a cardigan or a sweater in it, but like Mandy says, what will you wear, and what will you use, and where will this yarn be for the most of the time? In a blanket, of course, because the blanket is always there and you can always wear it and have it near you. So that's why I'm using this precious yarn for a blanket. You can see the variegation of the yarn here. I think it's knitting up very nicely. Yeah, the problem with this kind of construction is that it's very hard to find needles that is long enough and cables that are flexible enough to work in this kind of construction. So I am using DPNs and this plastic. Yeah, I see that I've lost some. I will put them up. But yeah, so I have 3 DPNs with 3 of these plastic cables that I'm alternating with. And I'm thinking that it's working out fine. And I can all the time see the blanket growing instead of putting it all on one needle, and it will be yeah. So this one is a project that I'm working on a lot. Yes, I will be linking everything in the show notes, and I hope that you understand my English and that you will follow me. I'm on Instagram as Marilu Knitting, and I will get a email account as well, I think. Yeah, I hope to see you soon, every second week maybe, and until then, have a nice April in the sun. Goodbye.